All right, today we're diving into one of the most epic underdog stories ever told. You know the one, David and Goliath. It's this incredible, timeless story about having the courage to stand up, even when everything seems stacked against you.
But here's the thing, this story is so much more than just some old legend, right? It gets at this really core question that we all think about. How in the world does the little guy beat the giant? How does the powerless take on the powerful and actually win? Let's dig in. Okay, so let's set the scene. Picture this, we're in ancient Israel. There's this valley, and the air is just thick with fear. You've got two massive armies, and they're just stuck, locked in this terrifying standoff with nobody daring to make the first move. And right here, you can see the whole problem in a nutshell. On one side, you've got the Israelites, and they are just completely frozen with fear, paralyzed. And on the other side, the Philistines. They're feeling pretty good about themselves, and why wouldn't they be? They're being led by a literal giant. So from the get-go, the power imbalance is it's huge. It seems absolutely impossible. So let's talk about this giant. His name is Goliath. He's the Philistines' champion, their secret weapon. But here's the interesting part. His biggest weapon isn't really his size or his spear. It's fear. It's all psychological warfare. Imagine this. Day after day after day, he walks out and yells the same challenge, just grinding down the will of an entire army. And just listen to what he's saying. The stakes cannot be higher. This isn't just some little skirmish. No, no. This is winner take all. The future of two entire nations hangs on this one single fight. Whoever loses, their people become slaves. I mean, can you even imagine the kind of terror that would inspire? So you've got this scene, right? Total fear. Every single soldier is just frozen. And then something completely unexpected happens. Out of nowhere, a single voice speaks up, a voice of defiance. And the guy who steps up, he is the last person on earth you'd expect. It's not some big, tough general. It's not a famous warrior. It's a kid, a young shepherd named David, who, get this, was literally just there to drop off lunch for his older brothers. And his reaction is it's totally different from everyone else's. Instantly. He doesn't see some unbeatable monster. He sees some guy insulting his people and his God. And he's not having it. So he just blurts it out. I will fight him. You can just imagine the silence that followed. Everyone must have been absolutely stunned. And of course, the older soldiers are like, whoa, kid, hold on. Their reaction is pure disbelief. I mean, it's the logical response, right? It's the voice of reason, maybe the voice of fear. They're looking at the situation, at this massive armored giant, and then they're looking at this shepherd boy. To them, the mismatch is it's a joke. It's obvious. But see, David isn't seeing what they're seeing. Not at all. His confidence is coming from somewhere totally different. He's thinking about his life as a shepherd. He's fought off lions. He's fought off bears to protect his sheep. So in his mind, Goliath isn't some unbeatable warrior. He's just another big predator. And David's faith? Well, that's the ultimate equalizer. And this conviction right there is what's about to make this battle so incredibly unconventional. All right, so the fight is actually going to happen. It's on. But the way David gets ready for it, well, it's just as unconventional as his decision to fight at all. And this part is so key. It's all about playing to your strengths, not trying to be something you're not. And you can see the difference right here. It couldn't be more clear. Goliath? He's got all the standard gear. Heavy armor, a huge sword, a massive spear. The works. David? They try to put the king's armor on him. And he's like, nope, can't move in this stuff. It feels all wrong. So instead, he goes with what he knows, what he's an expert with. A simple slingshot and a few smooth stones from a stream. So Goliath sees this kid coming at him, and he just laughs. He's insulted. He is so stuck in his idea of what a fight is supposed to look like, he completely misses the real threat. He doesn't see a skilled marksman with what was basically a long-range weapon. He just sees a boy with a stick. Huge mistake. But David's comeback? Oh, it changes everything. He completely reframes the entire fight. He basically says, you think this is about you and me? You think your sword and spear matter? You come at me with weapons, but I'm coming at you in the name of the Lord. He's making it clear that a person's physical weapons are nothing against his faith. And that right there, that's the real turning point. And that brings us to it. The climax. The moment of truth. All the trash talk is done, the battle lines are drawn, and everything is about to change in a single instant. And it happens so fast. It's bam, bam, bam. First, David doesn't back up. He doesn't hesitate. He runs straight at the giant. Think about the confidence that takes. Second, he pops one stone into his sling. Just one. That's all he thinks he's going to need. And third, he lets it rip. And it flies true.
And that's it. The result is instant. It's final. The giant, the unbeatable champion, just crashes to the ground. In a heartbeat, the impossible just became possible.
So the giant is down. The fight's over. But what does it all mean? Because the real story, the legacy of what just happened, is only getting started. Let's really break down what made this incredible victory happen. You know, when you really look at it, this wasn't just some freak accident or blind luck. David's victory really boiled down to three key things. First, he had faith. That gave him the absolute conviction that he could win. Second, he had courage, the guts to actually walk out there and face his fear head on. And third, and this is so important, he had skill. He was an expert with that sling. He took something that looked like a weakness and turned it into his winning advantage.
And that's really the big idea here, isn't it? The reason this story has stuck around for thousands of years. It's this idea that real strength isn't just about muscle or armor. It comes from something deeper. It's this powerful reminder that if you have that deep belief in yourself and you pair it with a smart strategy, you really can overcome almost anything.
So that kind of brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Because this isn't just some old story from a book, right? It's really a metaphor for all the giants we face in our own lives, those challenges that just seem impossibly big. So the question for all of us is, what's our stone? When we face our giants, what's that one unique skill we have? What's that deep belief, that act of courage that we can pull out to help us win, even when the odds are stacked against us?